Yo, I just came to drop off a short message, and I just want to tell you guys that, like, everybody be speeding fast, everybody be driving fast. Not everybody. Some people still, obey the speed limit and the traffic and all of that. And I get it. I get it. Everybody's been young before. Everybody likes to drive fast. Not everybody. Well, most people, especially in today's age. But we should really be careful. And I say this because you have kids out here in these neighborhoods. You got kids in these streets, elders, you know, people that, deserve some courtesy. And it's just, nobody thinks anymore. Everybody's just in a rush to drive. And, this is how catastrophes happen. Um, there's not enough defensive drivers anymore. Everybody wants to, race and chase and just drive the range. Then you got road rage, and road rage is a whole nother thing itself. It's just, it's one of the more senseless crimes that, that could take place. Just raging out because somebody cut you off or, wouldn't let you in. It's one of those instant regret type of crimes, And so I just say this to say, I was driving, I was leaving earlier from the Dollar Tree, and I noticed like a whole bunch of kids. And you got to be mindful. Kids aren't really aware of just. I mean, even if kids know that cars are dangerous, they don't really know. So you just got to be careful. You got to defensive drive. You got to look out for the little ones. Take your time sometimes. Coming up out of a parking lot, coming up out of a store, leaving out of a strip mall full of stores, laundromat, gas station, especially if you notice kids. I just ease my way up out of the store. Out of the store, I ease my way up out of the parking lot. These kids were on bikes and they weren't looking. I mean, they were kind of, they knew, but they weren't like cautious, of cars. And shortly thereafter, a couple and their kid was riding the bikes. It's nice out today. You just got to be mindful of pedestrians. Got to be mindful of people. You got to be careful today when you're driving. I mean, city to city, Atlanta, Chicago, New York, you got crazy drivers everywhere. And I always say the biggest thing about a car accidents, you know, outside of the fact that somebody could lose their life, it's the inconvenience. And so, it's something that you really don't really want to go through. And if you find yourself just flying down a road like Speed Racer, driving like a speed demon, you know, you can crash out. I mean, that's a different meaning to crash out outside of just doing something crazy and waking up in jail and prison. You can crash out and your life can crash out just because you were, you know, driving at a highly accelerated speed. Like when I was young, like very, very young, I thought like, oh man, going fast is so cool. I remember doing like 125 on the highway, pushing 130, thinking like, hey, this is cool, and I'm not knowing that like one wrong move or one sudden jerk reaction or you hit something in the road, a pothole, you just mistime a turn and that's it. It's a matter of mere seconds. So look, I get it. The youth today, they like to crank the music, pedal to the metal and go, but you don't end up like Paul Walker. You don't want to end up, you know, with a walker, paralyzed. You don't want this. You don't want to end up, God forbid, you hit someone and it's a kid or an elderly person. You don't want those kind of problems. So I would just encourage and stress that people be more, protective drivers, more defensive drivers on these roads. Where are you rushing to? Like, what's the rush? Like, are you rushing off to the grave? You rushing off to mistakenly hit someone and go to prison? You know, especially if you hit them and run, especially if you pull a hit and run. Guys, just a quick little message I wanted to drop off real fast. Because, it's real. I don't know too many people talking about this, road rage and speeding drivers, but hey, this message is very much needed. And it's simply because I don't want to see nobody, as well as myself, out here, literally crashing out, just trying to go somewhere. Like, I'm gonna end it like this. There was a story that this guy that was telling me, he was a AAA tow truck driver, and he was saying, like, you would be surprised. These people be. He was talking about where he stayed. This was St. Louis. And I was in St. Louis at the time, and he was telling me that that he would see these drivers on the road, and they would be driving fast, like pushing 90 to 100. Streets, highway, the same. It don't matter. People doing 95 into 45, 40, 50. It ain't cool. And he said they had to do all this driving just to pull up at Walgreens, just to pull up at Popeyes. Like, seriously? So you did all that driving just so you can pull into Popeyes? You did all that crazy driving, all that wow driving just to end up at Popeyes? Like, you couldn't go 40, 50, 60 miles slower? I don't understand it, folks. I don't get it. But yeah, just a quick video. I deemed it necessary. I felt it necessary. If this hit somebody and it reaches you, it was for you. Otherwise, it was for the people that's wise enough to understand this type of content and respect it. Hey, look, this is the R. I'm out. Chucking the deuces. I'm going to catch y'all on the next video, whatever that may be about. Hey, subscribe, comment, like. I'm out.